Where you at, Berto?
Alright, today we got the invasion of predator teachers. Now realistically, any of that weirdo activity is just absolutely unacceptable. But on the same side of that coin, especially as a guy, I know back in high school, we've all had a teacher that we low-key wanted to clap. Unless you went to one of them ratchet schools where all your teachers look like goddamn a female version of Uncle Ruckus or some shit. Either way, wrong is wrong, and the mind of an immature teenager should never influence the mind of an adult to do weird shit. But let's get right into the video and see what it's talking about. Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch. I've been streaming very consistently on there. The link to that will be in the description. That's where you're at, Berto. Come on, let's do it.
Back when I was a child in high school, the most controversial thing that took place at my institute was a teacher being caught with, let's just say, graphic imagery of young individuals on his hard drives. Tons of it. Now, I did not have this instructor. A friend of mine actually did, though, and they always told me, like, how shocking it was to find out this happened because that teacher was such a nice, cuddly, warm, amazing, good.
Nigga, you look like a goddamn baby. What? How old were you here?
Dude, fast forward a little bit because I went to 2 different high schools actually, and in my other high school, a similar case happened, but except this time, the teacher had a real physical encounter with the student. And soon after that, I remember thinking, am I cursed? Do I have like cursed energy? Do I have the freaking 9-tailed fox inside of me? I don't know. Freaking kryptonite? I don't even know if that's how it works. I still gotta watch the Superman. Heard it was a good movie. But anyways, one of my...
You heard wrong. It was just mid. That shit was mid. But that's a topic for another video. I actually just posted a video on that on my Berto 2 channel. Make sure you guys go check that out.
My middle school teachers actually had an entire wall with just a bunch of pictures of girls from the previous graduating class. Very, very fishy. Come to find out, I'm not actually cursed, and this is a very, very common experience. As a matter of fact, this happens so often that I ended up seeing an edit like a couple minutes ago about male teachers when it comes to being gay, a PDF, or being the greatest teacher you'll ever have, because I guess being a PDF is that common. And I'll let y'all see the edit because you know it's LeBron James. Hey! There are plenty of posts like this, which I might play some examples for you.
Yes, I am a teacher. Yes, I either be male PDF file or female bitch. Yes, I hate my life. Yes, my students make fun of me. Yes, I will give you a 0 if you're late. Assignments that was turned in minutes after class ended. Yes, I will give you the worst seat possible. Bro, I mean, this sucks. Not all teachers are this fucking bad, man. I had some pretty good teachers, but I do remember, you know, it's not really even really a story, but I do remember my high school female basketball teacher. My high school female basketball coach was a guy. And obviously I'm a guy, so I played for the guys' basketball team, obviously. But I remember that teacher or coach, he got caught texting one of the girls in like an inappropriate way, and then that nigga ended up going to jail. But you know, so I guess this is just a canon event, unfortunately, and that's the sad part. It's very sad that it's just a canon event for most kids to have at least one PDF file teacher just floating around in school. Now that I think about it, bro, I feel like I had a coach that was like texting girls too, bro. Now I think about it, you know, that's the fucked up part, bro. When you're young, stupid, and immature, PDF shit could be going on right in front of your face as a teenager, and you don't even be thinking about it. But I'm just now starting to think. I remember there was a coach. He wasn't a basketball coach. I think he was a soccer coach at my school, and he was texting the girls and shit. I remember, like, but it never even crossed my mind. Oh, hell nah, man. I might need to go put a report in. The feds on these niggas, because that was weird. Why was he doing that?
Now, after seeing posts like the previous ones, I ended up thinking, how common is this actually? It is estimated that about 10% of students will experience educator misconduct by the time they graduate high school.
Wow.
The term misconduct is relatively broad, and it encompasses a variety of behaviors, including verbal, comments, jokes, exposure of parts, sharing wild images, crazy physical behaviors like touching, fondling, and all the, you know, extremely disgusting stuff. Which that means 1 in every 10 students will have reported some type of inappropriate incident. I don't know how big your classes were. In my schools, they were about 30 people per classroom, which means about every classroom, about 3
30? Damn, that's a big ass class. I feel like mine was like 20, but 30 is a lot. You know, another thing that I think it doesn't excuse it at the end of the day. These are adults, but I think something that you don't really put into perspective until you get a little bit older is a lot of your teachers, like obviously there's older ones, but a lot of the teachers sometimes they be young, so they're immature and stupid themselves. Like they're adults, but they be in like they mid-20s type shit. You know, again, there's no excuse. Weird is weird. You are an adult for a reason, nigga. So 18, like me personally, bro, on some shit, I don't even really want, like, as an adult, I don't even really want to talk to you if you not at least 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm straight with 19, but at the same time, it's like 19 is too fresh. I feel like if you're at least 20, I could be like, okay, you've been on like an adult for a couple of years now. You done experienced some life. Now we might have something to relate to. You know what I'm saying? And again, 18 is the legal age, but it's like you still a kid. You still just entering in the world of like adulthood. You still not fully understanding. So it's like, and then it's obviously fucking illegal, anything younger than that. So in my head, I just don't even be understanding why these older guys be even interested or trying to flirt with that fence illegal. Like, bruh, you tell me you 18, 19, bruh, I don't even want to talk to you. Straight up. I don't even want to talk to you on some shit.
3 students will have had relations with a grown teacher. Now, some more interesting statistics regarding the studies. 11% of recent high school graduates have been victims. More specifically, 89% of the accused educators were males. 63% of incidents involved teachers, and 19% involved coaches and gym teachers.
Them coaches, bro. Them coaches be getting caught up.
And gym teachers, bro. It was always gym teachers and like history teachers who were weird. I don't know. Something about them gym teachers. They be teaching us stretches and then they'll go to like the girl side. It was weird, bro. It was weird. Another article I seen from Business Insider says that they conducted an analysis of 388 disciplinary records of educators accused of misconduct. Of the 388, only 166 contained evidence that administrators conducted a thorough investigation on. So out of that 166 that they actually conducted an investigation on, only 4 of them were determined to be false accusations, which proves that false accusations don't happen nearly as much as, you know, actual real incidents, let's be honest. And out of those, 54 cases resulted in no disciplinary action. Not enough. We don't care. As a school board, we don't care. Principal, we don't care. 52 of them were reprimanded or briefly suspended. Brief suspension. My employee, my teacher, my colleague.
If I was the principal, I would put a law into place where if a teacher get caught doing some weird shit, we need to stone them. Like the old ages. Since y'all niggas don't want to take this shit seriously. We're gonna let all the kids out the class and the teacher gonna stand in the middle of where do we go? The auditorium. We're gonna keep the teacher gonna stand in the middle of the auditorium and we just gonna be throwing stones like that, nigga. That's the only reason. That's the only thing that we need to bring back. Cause clearly they're not understanding. They're not taking this shit seriously. What y'all think? Berto for president or what?
Talk to some underage individuals. Don't do it again, all right? We'll see you next week. Make sure you have the lesson plan ready by Monday. Wow. That's a very harsh punishment. Cruel and unusual punishment, man. How dare you give them this much punishment? They shouldn't even been suspended at all, man. Obviously not. 10 were reassigned to new positions. Wow, what a PR move. You got caught in the act? God damn it, man. I like you, man. I liked you. Okay. You can't be a teacher? You know what? You could be a TA. Be the teacher's assistant. Or, you know what? Vice principal. I like that. I don't like that. 120 were allowed to retire or resign. So they're just like, all right, bro, just go ahead and retire, bro. We're not gonna prosecute you. Chilling with your feet kicked up, drinking a pina colada on the beach. 60 of them were terminated, and the remaining outcomes were not disclosed. AKA, they are all in the White House. Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know where they are. They're not disclosed. I don't know where they are. They're not disclosed. Brief intermission. If you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure you sub to the channel. We're on the road to 200,000 subscribers. We're at 229. Up to that in the description. Or other crazy statistics in case you're already not on the same page as me. It was a 53% increase for SA cases and a 99% increase from R-word cases since 2016. It was found that only 6% of students actually officially reported the educator. So a lot of times students will go through stuff, and because they're young, because they don't know better, they don't really know what's right and what's wrong.
And that's what I was saying. It's like it's not really till you older you start to understand like, oh shit, nah, I was tripping. And I think the guys really struggle with that too. Because, again, I put myself in the mindset of, like, a high school guy. If my teacher was bad as fuck, I was smart enough, like, me personally, I was smart enough to be like, I'm obviously not gonna go for that. But at the same time, I remember niggas being so immature and like meatheads and so like horny, wanting to feel some shit. If the teacher was like, yo, I'm gonna let you clap, bruh, niggas would be going for that. And niggas would be hyping up like, yo, I just smashed Mrs. Like, and that would be like, oh, that's dope, that's fire, that's good. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's really fucked up, because it's really the responsibility of the adult to be an adult. Because especially like high school boys, like they going for that, bro. They going for that. 100%.
Or they just don't know how to go about it, or they don't have a trusted parent, guardian, or close friend group to really report this to. A lot of times it seems like these educators go scot-free. And this perfectly explains what I was talking about, because a man who's now 18 says that a teacher was abusing him for years, gave him alcohol, money, other gifts.
Wow.
And in the caption here, it says the misconduct began in 2021 when the boy was 14. Nonetheless, she was able to walk around free for an extra 4 years without actually getting reported. Some more important information that I do not want to forget to mention is that a lot of times when people are younger, minors, whatever, will wait from 3 to 18 years to actually report on said case, which is on average about...
Because they don't even know how it's going to affect them until they grow up a little bit later, bro. They be waking up like, oh shit. Like wondering why they got trauma and shit. Just to come to find out, they start putting 2 and 2 together. It's like, oh, it was my teacher, bro. My teacher done raped me.
A decade or so. So a lot of times you see these percentages and they're really high, right? Like, oh, trust me when I tell you it's a lot higher than that, bro. Because add up all the ones that are undocumented, all the cases that are, you know, untalked about, the ones that are swept under the rug, you know, we keep it on hush mode. I wouldn't be surprised if you double it, give it to the next person, you know? That 1 out of 10 might really be like 2 to 3 out of 10. Is that crazy to say? Oh, by the way, that only counts like talking, touching, but if you want to count like cheese pizza or, you know, inappropriate imagery, that's probably a whole different other statistic that we didn't really combine into one. Also, the statistic that we read earlier was that this is mostly men, 89% to be exact. But I definitely did see a lot of like incidents in my schools with kind of suspect behavior coming from women teachers. If you're a girl, maybe you can relate, because I've seen it firsthand where it's like younger English teacher and she's like low-key flirting with the athletes while also like talking down to the girls.
That's what I'm saying, because they low-key like 25, 22, 23, 24. So they seeing 18-year-old niggas, and you know, develop into their masculine frame. Like at the end of the day, it's predatorial. Like that teacher's fraud. You know what I'm saying? But they blurring the lines. They fuck around, catch themselves flirting with an 18-year-old. Like, what the fuck you got going on, man? And that's if, you know what I'm saying? I be seeing what's going on, bro. This shit's fraud. In
the classroom, I don't know. It's like a weird dynamic. And recently I've been seeing an uprising in a lot of like women PDFs. For example, high school teacher is facing charges of having a relationship with a 16-year-old student. And of course, in the comment section, where the hell were these teachers back in the day? 3,000 likes, you know.
See, this is what I'm saying. Niggas are hyping this up. And that's the problem. There's a double standard, bro. It's almost like women PDF teachers be more able to get away with shit, bruh. This is what the comment section is saying. Where the hell were these teachers back in my days? All we got were quizzes. It's like they wanted the shit. Ah, fuck. These niggas are cooked.
Just glorifying crazy behavior. But unfortunately, you're a dumbass who weren't raised properly by 2 loving parents, isn't very smart, is low IQ, and deserves to get smacked in the back of the head. This boy might have had the best day of his life, and this is a woman. Too pretty to be messing with kids. As if like you gotta be ugly to do it. Is it like, okay, if you're ugly it's fine, but if you're pretty, you know, you can't. There's a married teacher in Florida who was accused of being with a 14-year-old in a classroom during lunchtime for an entire year. Yuck. Yikes.
Wow.
And then married teacher accused of having related.
I reacted to this on my Berto live channel, bro. She was entitled as fuck too. It's like she thought cause she looked good that she didn't need to go to jail. Like, bitch, you are still a pedophile. Just cause you look good don't mean nothing, ho.
With a student over 50 times, faces 60 years with new charges. A broke kid in high school has more leverage than her grown bill-paying husband. Wow. 60 years for what? Giving him the best years of his life. Let's be real.
Damn.
A student hit the jackpot. And I feel like these people have never really had an encounter with PDF, because I know people, men who were involved with women who were older, and like they, one, regret it, and two, had trauma from it, bro. All these people were just glorifying it, being like, oh, big bro, he's so cool, he's so, you know, you're weird. And you also don't know what it's like, so why are you talking like that, bro? Do you understand how many undocumented cases go by every day? Day by day, these people scoot underneath the rug, and this person is being reported with 60 years. Why do you think that's happening? Because he probably reported her. He was not having the time of his life. He was actually indoctrinated by society and told.
Exactly, and he probably finally wisened up and was like, yo, this, what I'm doing is fucked up. This shit is fucking my head up, bro.
That he was supposed to like this, and then he found out this is wrong, and then he probably freaking reported it. Be wary, you never really know who's going through what and what's taking place unless you really know. But if you see suspicious behavior, please tell somebody something about it, bro. I didn't really understand what was suspicious and what was not, and what was normal and what was not. So I was like, okay, that's just how it is, I guess. This teacher is just freaking bending over in front of people because I guess this teacher just wearing this type of weird outfit just because, I guess. This teacher is being oddly nice to the athletes because I guess that's normal. And my freaking middle school teacher having a plaster of a bunch of girls on his wall who were all freaking 12 is all out of kindness.
Now that's fucking crazy, bro. But again, when you're 12 years old in that moment, like, you're not thinking that. You're literally not thinking that. If anything, you think of the most innocent shit possible, like, oh, this is my favorite teacher, and my favorite teacher has a goddamn mural on his wall of his favorite students. This shit is crazy, bro. Shit is crazy. You know what they say, man? Don't grow up. Don't grow up, because everything start making sense. You start looking back at time and being like, hold on. That isn't what I thought it was.
I guess. Now, as far as why this is happening, I don't really know too much. I have a couple inferences. To me, the immediate things that stand out about a teacher and a student, like the dynamic, is definitely like the power thing. You're looking up to, you know, the professor. As a professor, you know, you have all the control. So a lot of times the professor might feel that like dominance, as crazy as it is, and feel like they need to assert that dominance. Besides, I don't know, freaking teaching the math problem properly, okay? Be dominant there, bro. Be dominant in making sure your students get the proper education, okay? Be dominant during the lesson planning, okay? Make a good lesson. As a matter of fact, the amount of freaking teachers I had that couldn't teach a proper lesson actually is infuriating. Don't let me get.
Oh my God, bro. This is kind of off topic, but it just was triggered from what he said. You know, I told a story about this on the channel before, but bro, I remember I used to actually fucking enjoy math all the way up until like pre-calculus. I remember I took pre-cal my senior year, my nigga, and I swear to you, I'm not even trying to be like, you know, racist or like disrespectful, but on everything, God strike me down if I'm lying, bro. We had a math teacher come into the class, and it was her first year in America. This girl was straight from China, bro. Couldn't understand one fucking word she said, bro. Like, her accent was so strong, and like, I almost feel like if I were to try and copy it, you know, motherfuckers gonna think I'm making fun of her, but on some real shit, like, all right, see, it's too crazy. I can't even mimic it because it's gonna come across as like hateful. So bear with me. But like, bro, she's trying to teach pre-calculus and she can't speak English, bro. Like, bro, the only way I passed that class, mind you, I would fail the whole year. I literally had to wait for like the last day of, well, not the last day of school, but when we were taking our finals, and I had to get on board and get one of the kids to ask her to go outside to talk to her about some make-believe situation. And then I got up from my desk, snuck behind her desk, and changed our fucking grades, bruh. Because that was the only way niggas was passing the finals to get a passing grade in her class. Everybody was failing. The only motherfuckers that weren't failing, that were just smart enough and already knew pre-cal. But she was not teaching that shit. Or she was trying to, but nobody could understand her. It was so bad that like, and I feel bad. Like, this is what I say. It's like, I'm trying to tell y'all the story, but I don't want to come off like disrespectful, but it was so bad that I remember one day the principal actually walked into the classroom and was like, you know, kind of lecturing the class because she was fucking crying and shit, because, you know, some niggas are assholes. They're going to bully her and shit. But like on some real genuine life, like, we could not understand nothing. You know, she made it too easy. Motherfuckers was gonna bully her regardless.
Off topic, the education system is pretty underpaying, correct? I'm guessing they don't really do proper screening a lot of times. And let's face it, bro, you know what a PDF's dream is? An institution full of young individuals in one place. You know what that is? School. Literally school. Of course they're gonna come and be like, yeah, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I'm gonna teach the class. And secretly, you know, in their brain, they're like these, rubbing their hands and itching at the thought of, you know, being around people of that age. So naturally, of course, a place with a lot of, you know, young individuals, I'm thinking probably attracts, you know, people with that type of mindset. I also wonder if there has anything to do with like poverty. I feel like when it comes to crime in general, poverty plays a role, but when it comes to these type of crimes, I don't know if these are predominantly happening more in places that are low income or jobs that are low income versus.
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised if it was happening in more like rich areas. Cause you know, not to say that all rich people are entitled, but motherfuckers that just feel like they untouchable, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
People that are high income, I don't know if there's any correlation with that. I did find a Reddit post that says, why has there been such an increase in teachers, students? Has it always been like that? Is it more common than I realized, or is it just some kind of increase?
I think it's because of the internet. I think the internet is just becoming so big, so wide that people are starting to get really comfortable with the idea of just getting on the internet and sharing their story. So I feel like it's been something that's always been a thing, but now it's a lot harder to get away with it because people are, you know, willing to expose their traumas for views or for, you know, spread awareness, whatever it is. But I genuinely think it's becoming more common, not because it's happening more, but because like motherfuckers are actually getting out their body and getting on the internet and trying to tell their story.
In PDFs. It's always been that way. It's always been that way to an extent. A lot of the history was erased, but go digging and you'll find historical events of worst magnitude throughout the 20th century. I think that's probably true to an extent. It's probably always been that way to an extent. It's kind of interesting to know that like a lot of times people who go through these cases, they'll report them a lot later. Maybe it's been like that and then those cases are being reported now. And then the cases from right now are going to be reported later, you know? I think parents have been noticing it more, going through their kids' phones. Teachers are not even supposed to be texting students. Yeah, a teacher having the student's phone number already is a very high.
Facts, bro. But again, I knew a teacher that was having niggas, he was texting like girls, bro. I knew a teacher that was texting girls and I never thought it was weird at the time. And maybe that's just me being stupid and immature, but like I just remember, I remember they used to be in class talking about it. Like I literally remember, I don't even remember the nigga's name, but he was like, it wasn't like Saturday school, but we would stay after class and he was like the head of the after class school where you kind of got some extra tutoring and shit. And I literally remember them kind of just talking about it openly, like, oh yeah, I was texting you, and literally like talking to the teacher like that, bro. In front of our faces, 4K, my nigga. What business does a grown ass man have texting a high school girl, bro? That don't make no sense. And you the teacher. You the teacher. Bro, this is sad, man. It's sad. I'm actually ashamed that this is just like coming back to me now. And I didn't think nothing of it. But again, that's why kids are kids. And that's y'all problem. And I'm gonna sound like a motherfucking old head, but y'all kids be thinking you know some shit, but you don't know shit. It's not till you get older where it's like, damn, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Red flag. Like the only person I ever had in contact with was my coaches. Maybe it's in the news more. I graduated in 06 and 07. He apparently was giving his numbers to seniors until they graduated before hitting them up. I mean, he waited, but he still had to be attracted to them prior to turning 18. Yo, what the heck? He was putting in reservations. When that one comes off the grill, it's mine. 17 years old and 365 days. Oh, yo, that's actually crazy. And the fact that that's technically considered legal and he can't be prosecuted for that? No, you're disgusting. But overall, it seems like most people are saying that this is just a thing that's being reported more on now versus not really an increase, which is weird though, because the studies we did read, it did say that there was an increase. Man, this definitely feels like something that's happening more, and it feels like something that is happening in every single school. Like, bro, odds are you watch this video have had a teacher in your school doing the same crazy freaky activities, same way I have, same way another person watching the video probably has, and same way another person in this comment section is commenting right now. You know, I relate. The fact that this is happening so much is honestly crazy, and what can we really do about it? I don't know. If you see suspicious behavior, report it. Would be nice if freaking school boards, you know, did annual checkups or something. I don't know what.
The thing is, it's like there's obviously an answer. I feel like schools definitely probably need to step in and do more, definitely more screening. But at the end of the day, it's like this is something that I could also see, especially in a school setting, where unfortunately you never really know until it's too late. You hire the motherfucker, the record's clean. So they've never been caught before. They have all the credentials to be a good teacher. They come in and they are a good teacher. The students love them. Everything is positive within the moment. But it's like, it's not till years later, or thankfully the parents go through the phones and they start seeing like weird shit that's just been going on under the scenes, bro. So I don't know, bro, but y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. You know, in the comment section, let me know if you've been in a situation. I know it might be more of a touchy subject, so if you don't feel comfortable sharing, you know, you don't have to. But, you know, I'm just curious, like, even for me, when you look back, were there situations where something was fishy that you're just now realizing, like, oh, shit, like, that was wrong. That was wrong. And I feel like that genuinely be the case with a lot of these guys. That's why they end up reporting it later on in life, because they didn't realize that it was wrong at the time. My name is Berto. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm excited to hear y'all feedback. Make sure you guys tap into the Twitch live streams. The link to that will be in the description. That's Where You At Berto. And I'll see you on the next one.
Where you at, Berto? I made this shit look too easy.